Yeah, so a bit of an introduction about myself. Hi there, this is Kuljot Singh Bakshi, undergrad student at IIT Bombay at the Department of Environmental Science and Engineering. I'm also a Udemy instructor with two courses under my belt. One is Azure Generative plus Predictive AI 10 plus hours, which includes all the concepts related to Azure OpenAI, be it function calling, retrieval augmented generation, vector indexing, and stuff like that. And the second one is AI Builder with Power Apps unleashing efficiency. I'm also a certified Azure AI engineer and a most valuable professional at C Sharp Corner, on which I write blogs very frequently. Please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn as well. Let's get started with the video without further ado. So, upon having a lot of conversation with a lot of people and reading stuff on the internet, some articles and various stuff like that, I came to the conclusion that a lot of people or a lot of users on the internet were confused with buzzwords like generative AI, predictive AI, and what is the future of both of these? So, are they going to work together or are they going to work in separation? Or is generative AI or chat GPT or GPT engines going to take over the whole AI world? So this video is aimed at clearing just that confusion. It's just aimed at providing you with a sense of relief. And yeah, let's get started with the video. So the first fundamental thing that we need to make a note of here is what is artificial intelligence? So artificial intelligence involves machines that can perform tasks that are characteristic of human intelligence. So with artificial intelligence, you develop a machine that can work like a human, think like a human, and produce result like a human. And on the other hand, machine learning. So machine learning is a field of computer science that gives custom computers the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. So with the help of machine learning, you can create or generate your custom artificial intelligent models, which gives the ability to the computer to think like a human, work like a human, and produce results like a human based on your model of custom AI uh, that interests you. Now, coming to something that has taken the world by storm, what exactly is generative AI? So, first came the advent of artificial intelligence. Then in the 1990s came the advent of machine learning. Then in the 2010s came the advent of deep learning, which is essentially a machine learning technique in which layers of neural networks were used to process data and make decisions to enhance the earlier version of training your computer to create a custom artificial intelligence model. Then in the current scenario, what we have is generative AI, which is a new field of artificial intelligence, which creates new written, visual, and auditory content given prompts or existing data. So in generative AI, you train your model, you train your large language model on a huge amount of data set, maybe trillions or billions of tokens, trillions or billions of characters of strings, and based on that trained data set, you let your artificial intelligence model create new content from the existing data or the existing training data set that it has been trained on. So generative AI in its essence doesn't predict the future or doesn't generate a whole lot of new content that is separate from the content that it has been trained on. What it does is it creates new content, it derives new ways of producing that content which it has been trained on. So predictive AI and generative AI are two branches of artificial intelligence. These technologies harness machine learning algorithms and deep learning to achieve their respective goals of predict future events, which is for predictive AI, as the name suggests, and content generation, which is the role of generative AI likewise. So in artificial intelligence, you have two sub branches. One is predictive AI and generative AI. Under generative AI, you have your GPT engine, generative pre-transformer engines. You have your embedding models, which generate vector embeddings uh, for the content, for your own content that you want your GPT engine to fetch data from. And you have a DAL-E model also, which generates images uh, based on the prompts or based on the set of instructions that you give your engine. And An application of generative AI is a Copilot. Uh, you can associate Copilot with Microsoft's 365 Copilot, GitHub Copilot, which works on the Codex model. Then, speaking of predictive AI, you have two branches through which you can use predictive AI. You can harness the power of predictive AI. One is through machine learning, through which you can create your own set of custom model of predictive AI. And one is another one of the branch is AI services, which, for instance, is the Microsoft pre-built model and exposed, and which is exposed as an API at your disposal. So ChatGPT started the OpenAI era as we know, or as the world knows about it. In 2022, OpenAI, an AI research company, created a chatbot known as ChatGPT and an image generation application known as DALL-E, which is essentially which essentially does the work of creating natural language input, taking natural language input from a user and returning a machine created human like response. So this is a slide which I thought of including it, which says uh, that the current salary of a prompt engineer is valued at over 300K USD a year, which is, I mean, just crazy, just enough crazy, and the world doesn't even know about it. So yeah, okay. So coming to the main topic, the main content that the video is concerned about. So with this video, I'm proposing a use case of artificial intelligence as a whole to clear your confusion regarding the future of predictive AI and generative AI, whether they will work hand in hand, go hand in hand, or function as separate entities, or is generative AI going to take over the world of artificial intelligence? So, the first question, the most fundamental question that we need to tackle here is, can generative AI make predictions? So, generative AI or Gen AI is not typically used for prediction tasks. It excels in creative content generation. Creative content generation is a keyword here, but lacks the specialized algorithms and techniques for accurate predictive analysis. So the most fundamental concept that we need to get ourselves cleared in is generative AI fails at making predictions or is not used for prediction tasks because it lacks the specialized algorithms and techniques for accurate predictive analysis. So generative AI is good or is mastered at creating creative content generation from the training data set that it already has been trained on. Yeah, so on the screen you have sort of a use case, or I thought of it as a model for an airport or an airline company which uses the power of custom AI on one hand, predictive AI on the other, and generative AI on the other hand. So you have custom model, which is custom AI, which essentially means training your computer with machine learning algorithms to generate a custom predictive model, custom predictive artificial intelligence model at your disposal. Then you have AI services, predictive AI services, which you can think of the pre-built Azure AI services such as Azure Computer Vision, Azure Language Service, Azure Speech Service, and stuff like that. Then you have generative AI, which is essentially concerned with the world revolving around GPT engines. Then you have the Copilot here, which uses Codex model in its essence. So custom AI and predictive AI do the work of forecasting future events, making predictions and stuff like that. Generative AI, on the other hand, does the work of content generation, creative content generation. It can be text and image based. So generative AI can be used to create new content that is similar to the existing content or the training data set that it has been trained on. And Copilot uses code generation model, namely the Codex model, text generation model, and image generation model of generative AI to help you with your work. So one example of one, or sorry, the use cases of custom AI which you can think of in an airline or an airport is you can develop a custom model for baggage carousel at airport to predict the breaking down of it. So you can develop a custom artificial intelligence model to let you know beforehand when your baggage carousel is going to malfunction. Or, on the other hand, you can also develop a custom AI model for the purpose of predicting whether the flight will be on time or not. Then, speaking of AI services, you can develop a you can develop a use case using Azure AI Vision uh, for you know clicking the pictures of all of your passengers, recognizing their faces, and recognizing who has entered your flight or not. So, who is in your flight, who is left to enter your flight, and stuff like that. Or on the other hand, you can also use document intelligence or the Azure Form Recognizer to read handwritten passengers custom clearance form. Yeah. And speaking of generative AI, you can develop a model wherein you can answer user queries. So, for instance, let's say I am an Indian passenger traveling to the United States of America with an valid Indian passport, valid US visa, and let's say in my pocket right now in my wallet I have 200 US dollars, and I am a pure vegetarian. I am I am interested in eating vegan food and not meat or any other kind of non-vegetarian food. And I want to know, considering all my limitations and the money that I have in hand, I want to know what hotel will be the best fit for me. So you can use or you can harness the power of generative AI, GPT engine in general, to answer the user query. So what your GPT engine is going to do, your generative AI model is going to take in all that training data set, all that billions of tokens into consideration, and using models or using the power of natural language processing, it's going to take in that user query and answer the user query by providing the best fit hotel for the person with all of these considerations, such as having only 200 US dollars in his pocket, being a pure vegetarian, not interested in eating meat or any other kind of non-vegetarian food. Then, speaking of Copilot, you can have Copilot at your disposal. You can use GitHub Copilot, work as a software developer, and create an application using GitHub Copilot that harnesses the power of custom model, custom AI, predictive AI, and generative AI in general. So, with this scenario, with this use case, you can see how I can use the power of custom AI, predictive AI, and GPT engine, generative AI in general, and create sort of a very powerful artificial intelligence application that does the work of forecasting future events, does the work of content generation, code generation, and stuff like that. So, another major point to be noted here is generative AI is going to stay at your front end because it's going to answer user queries. And at the back end, custom artificial intelligence model, predictive artificial intelligence model are going to work hand in hand with generative AI model. And it's going to create a very powerful artificial intelligence application. Yeah. So in conclusion to this video, all I would like to say is the company which harnesses the capabilities and qualities of custom predictive artificial intelligence, AI services, and generative AI is going to win the race in the long run. So custom predictive artificial intelligence, pre-built artificial intelligence services like those of Azure Speech Service, Azure Language Service, and generative AI, the three of these are going to go hand in hand and going to work hand in hand, and the company which successfully harnesses the power of all of these three sectors of artificial intelligence is going to win the race in the long run, and it's going to generate a business which mines a lot of money. For more insights into the world of Azure OpenAI, quickly navigate to udemy.com and enroll in this course as quickly as possible. The course is titled Azure Generative OpenAI plus Predictive AI 10 plus hours, in which you'll get concepts such as Master Azure OpenAI and key concepts such as function calling, text embedding, RAG, GitHub Copilot, and more. We have exclusive content focused on topics such as Azure OpenAI, Retrieval Augmented Generation, Predictive AI, AI 102 for short, and vector indexing and much more cool stuff like that. So what are you waiting for? Enroll now.